Okay, hi there. I have just started doing. A friend of mine suggested. Okay, you are very good at fantasy football. You're in 4 championship games out of 8 teams this year. So why don't you start a podcast and help some other folks get to the point where you're at? Because I do like fantasy football quite a bit. I mean, I feel like I'm very good at it. I'm sitting here. I've brought up my profile on Yahoo because that's where I do my fantasy football is on Yahoo. And currently, I'm rated as diamond, which that's in the top percentage there. I don't know exactly what the standard deviations are on that, but if you take a look, I'll bring up my trophies. I have several trophies over the years, lots of championships. If you look, first place 19. Second place 8, third place 8, but this doesn't include my home league, which we don't play on Yahoo. It's just a home league. We all just play there. Okay, so here's my trophies. Lots of first place, lots of second place. Out of 35 trophies out of 86 teams. 35 trophies out of 86 teams. Win-loss percentage, wins 764, 585 losses, 7 ties. But my championships, it's 19 championships out of 86 teams. So that's almost 25%. What is that, like 22, 23%, about 23%? That if you won a championship 1 out of every 5 seasons, you're probably going to be happy with that. And in your league, they're going to start being pissed off at you, which is what happens to me in my league. They all – I've been in that league since 2005, and I believe I have 6 championships in that league. So they get a little fed up with me being on their matchups list. I've got the long history with it. I could scroll through all that, but that would just be a waste of time. But I also do fantasy baseball, which I am not as good at fantasy baseball. Okay. If you look at my rating in fantasy baseball, you can see my graph here. It's I started out until 2015. I did not know what I was doing. And then I started figuring something out in fantasy baseball, and I'll get to that when we get closer to baseball season. You can see how I've improved every season since then. And, my trophies in fantasy baseball, I have 4 first-place trophies out of, how many leagues is that? 58. 4 out of 58. That's less than 10%. That's so bad. But I do have a friend who has never won a championship in baseball or football, either one. So, all right, let's get back to football because we are in championship week for everybody here. You may be playing for third place. You may be playing in the championship game. But most leagues have a financial incentive to finish in the top 3 in the championship game. Some are winner take all. But Yahoo, in their pay leagues, you get, based on your finish, if you finish in first, you get 5 times what your investment was. So if you paid $100 for the league, you get $500 for first place. Second place gets triple your investment, 3 times your investment. So if you paid $100, you get $300. And third place, you get your money back. And then Yahoo keeps the rest as a brokerage fee. So anyways, it's not gambling. Don't call it gambling. Never call it. It's not gambling. It's more like a sweepstakes. Now, anyhow, I dabble in some daily fantasy as well, but not much. Okay, back to what's going on this week. It's championship week. These are my leagues. Don't count these ones that are Imperial March. You see here, it's BFL, BWW. That is a set of rules. They're 6-person leagues, and wow, that's ridiculous, right? I mean, what can you put together if you only have a 6-person league? So I don't count those. Those don't actually count towards any of my stuff because they're not legal, essentially. All right, but I have some free leagues and I have some pay leagues. we have this one here. This is a free league, and I am in the championship game here playing against the first place Big Bertha. This is my main league for Yahoo. It's not my home league. It's my main league for Yahoo. I do this with some people, several different states. We have been getting together for years in this league. I'm sure that... But anyhow, this is a fun league. Anyways, this is a fun league, and right now I did not make the playoffs in that. So, I mean, it goes... No matter who you are, you can have good and bad luck. You can be the league leader in points and miss the playoffs because you're also the league leader in points against. I have been that guy. And this one is a pay league. This is a $20 league, but I finished 5th out of the playoffs with a very good team. Breaks my heart. But that is fantasy sports. You win some, you lose some, and you never know what the matchups are going to look like, who you're playing against. But this one right here is a free league. This is in the championship game. This is another $20 league. This draft went poorly after some injuries. So this one had no chance of making it into the playoffs. You know, you can see they're 9th place. Then we go on to, that was handshot first. This is ... ... I renamed that team when I was 0-7, and I led the league in points. I was 0-7, 0 wins, 7 losses, scoring, number 2 points in the league to be playing number 1 points in the league several times. It was tragic. It happens. You have to be prepared for it. You're never going to be perfect. This is another free league. This is a championship game here. By the way, the free leagues are easier, but that doesn't mean you're making it into the championship game because the top 3 or 4 people are all paying attention. That's why they're the top 3 or 4 people. Okay? So you don't get a free ride to a championship because you're in a free league. You still have to try. And this one right here is a $100 league. I am in 3rd place. This is a fun league. This was a good league. Everything about this league was great. Let me bring up the standings here. If you take a look, the guy who I'm playing for the championship, I'm highlighting right here with the cursor, his points for on the season were 1,850. My points for was 1,847. He had 3 more points than I did for the entire season. And the next guy behind us is almost 100 points behind us. So we both really did well. I finished in 3rd because you can't guarantee wins. But I led the league. Other than the person who finished in last place, I had the most points against. It's hard. Fantasy football, fantasy baseball, they are hard. So, anyhow, we're in the championship game. Let's take a look at what kind of brought us here. For him, the strength on his team is Patrick Mahomes, Austin Eckler, and Travis Kelce. That's a strong trio. For me, it's Joe Burrow. It was Cooper Kupp. Lost him to injury. And A.J. Brown, Josh Jacobs, who is one of the top 2 running backs. The other one is Austin Eckler. Ezekiel Elliott. I know that's a surprise, but Ezekiel Elliott was consistent, very consistent with his points scored each week. I mean, he was a double digit so many times. Other than his injury period, he was great for my team, always in my starting lineup. But I'm replacing Alvin Kamara with Ezekiel Elliott this week, right now. But it's not a lock. That doesn't mean that I'm staying with Alvin Kamara on the bench. It's just a possibility. You know, he's possibly injured, and I don't want to take too much of a risk right now. But I don't want to miss out on what I think is going to be Ezekiel Elliott, just a monster week for him. Tony Pollard may be injured. He may not be injured. We don't know exactly what's going on here. In fact, let's go ahead and check for Tony Pollard. Pollard. Tony Pollard. I love that name. Okay. He's questionable. He didn't practice at all this week. Okay, and this is updated tonight at 7:40 p.m. Don't know if he's going to play at all. I don't think he's going to. I don't see why he would. But that's where we're at. Tony Pollard is... Okay, so we get back to this. That means that Ezekiel Elliott is the bell cow against Tennessee on Thursday night when Tennessee is looking to bench Derrick Henry. You know, if Derrick Henry had brought me through the season to get me to the championship game, and in the championship week, Mike Vrabel was like, well, this game doesn't mean much. If we win or lose, we just, okay, but next week determines who wins our conference. So let's win next week. Oh, boy. Now, all of a sudden, I'm going, what do I do at running back? Well, neither one of these teams has to deal with that. Neither one of us has Derrick Henry. And both teams, I feel like I have a better bench than he. Oh, he picked up Hodgins today and he picked up DJ Chark. I know why he did that. My friend, this fella is doing two things. I have questionable statuses on A.J. Brown and Deontay Johnson. So if there's a chance that they won't play, I need other receivers. Right now I have Christian Watson and Chris Olave, both questionable. So he's playing a game where he also, I don't like the receivers he's using, Evans and Hopkins. It's not my favorite. But it is what it is. It's who he's got, and looks like who he's running with. But he picked up Hodgins and Chark because they're probably – I know Chark is predicted to get 10.10. He'll probably get that. He'll probably get every bit of that. But this guy's going to leave him on his bench. He was hoping to keep me from picking him up. I get that. You know, when you're in the championship game, friends, what you got to do is be aware that your opponent has needs too. And sometimes you may need to drop a player so you can go pick someone up that they can't put on their starting lineup. I did it in this league. You can see right here, I have Jacksonville on my bench. I didn't pick them up because I want to replace Dallas. No, Dallas is going to be facing a Tennessee Titans team that doesn't have Derrick Henry on the field. So that's going to be a pretty good game for Dallas's defense. But I picked him up because he has Buffalo. And you can see Buffalo is predicted to get 5.72 points. And that might be an overestimate because they're playing Cincinnati, who is really playing well lately. So he picked up the New York Giants, and I picked up Jacksonville to keep him from being able to pick them up. I get why he wants the Giants. They're playing Indianapolis. Indianapolis has given up a ton of points to opposing defenses. So he has a very good chance of getting double digits out of the Giants. I feel like I have a better chance of getting double digits out of Dallas. So I think that you know, it's all a matter of you got to think down every position. You know, you can't just walk into it and go, well, I'm just going to use all the players that brought me here. Dance with the one that brought you, they say. No. You got to throw that out the window sometimes because otherwise this matchup, Josh Jacobs against San Francisco, scares me. God, does that one scare me. You have no idea how bad I feel that I am playing Josh Jacobs against San Francisco. That does not feel good. They're the run defense. They stop everyone on the run. They just stop you. So this could not work out any worse for me in that respect. But it is what it is. I'm going to be making up for it with Ezekiel Elliott. I think this 13.7 should be raised up closer to 17, but who am I? He's going to get 2 touchdowns. That's all I'm saying. Cam Akers, I'm feeling good about Cam Akers. I'd rather have him in than Alvin Kamara against Philadelphia. I've got Pacheco against Denver, and Denver has a new coach in position. When you put in a new coach, you don't know what's about to come at you. You know, he could be defensively minded. He could be. You don't know what's about to happen. And things change. You know, people in the locker room, suddenly they get an inspiration or they get a, you don't know which way it's going to go. And, well, we saw what happened when Jeff Saturday came out there for his first game. He actually got a win. And then have they won since? Have they? I don't think so. But anyhow, so championship week, I want you guys to look at your bench, see who's strong, who could be used. Because if you look at your starters, I'm not starting Mike Evans. This guy has got to get Mike Evans out and put DK Metcalf in there. That's what he's got to do. Get Mike Evans out. Or put Gabe Davis in there. I don't care. Make up your mind. But get Mike Evans out of your starting lineup if you're in the championship game, because that's going to hurt you and you're going to feel bad because he's going to put up 5, maybe 6 points. And at the end of the day, you're not going to be happy with those 5 or 6 points. So think about your lineups. Think about who they're playing. Think about the scenario they're playing for. Derrick Henry this week, not playing for anything. They're resting him so that he can be solid for Week 18 matchup with the Jaguars, because if they win that, playoffs. And the whole goal is to make the playoffs. Like us right now, the whole goal is to win the championship. That's the only goal. Championship. We've made it through the season. We've made it through the playoffs. And now we're at championship game. Or maybe you're fighting for that third place. Okay? And respect third place because you get your money back, my friend. And that's a plus. That's a plus. So get out there, keep fighting. Look at your matchups. Look at your quarterback. Who are they playing? Look at Mike Evans and put him on the bench. Look at what's the situation in Dallas with the running back? Well, Tony Pollard probably not going to play. What's the situation in Tennessee with the running back? Well, Derrick Henry's probably not going to play. This is putting the people in a serious bind. You hope that they've been prepared for it. Oh, my dog's in here. Hey, girl. All right. Anyways, good luck this week. I'll break down a couple other things in some other videos, but seriously, good luck.